Hey everybody, my tour of trial gardens continues. This time I'm at Raker-Roberta. This is one of the biggest ones. At least it's the biggest one I've ever been to. It is massive and they have such a selection of plants, mostly annuals, but also some perennials. They also have like veggies and for edible plots, and then they have a whole section for cut flowers. So I'm not sure how I'm going to break this up and what I'm going to end up showing you, but I'll do my best to show you as much as I think I can and all the things that I think you're going to love. But wow, it's fantastic. So let me apply some sunscreen because I am going to be in the sun for a couple hours, and then hey, I'll give you my update after I've done a bit of a lap. So here we've got 3 beds of dahlias here, and then there's 2.5 beds of zinnias, plus the cut garden area has tons and tons of zinnias. Then we can go over here, there's sunflowers over there, celosia in these 3 beds, plus some back there. It's absolutely amazing. Here's a look at just some of the petunia beds. And for example, the plants on this side of this bed are all super petunias. So you get to see them all side by side. And this was my very first look at the super petunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid. And I have to say, I'm very impressed. The color and the contrast on this one is incredible. And look at how many flowers cover it. So this is definitely one to watch out for. And it has that unique kind of petal shape. I really like that. And if you look over here, this is the new Mini Vista Ultramarine, and this one is the Mini Vista Sweet Sangria, and I really like the color on this. It's a little more pink maybe than the Jazzberry, and that's the one that they don't have here right now is the Jazzberry. And they not only have them all in these beds, but if you look over there, all of those baskets are petunia baskets. So you just get so many things to look at here. Few things I want to show you in the shade area. Here's a new Hypoestes called Lottie Dottie, and it comes in white, it comes in red, comes in rose, and then comes in pink. And this variety seems to be a little more vigorous than what I've seen from the Splash series, which is a really popular one. So I just really want to maybe give these a try. They canceled them on us last year, so hopefully we can get some. Begonias are pretty similar to what I showed you when I was at Mast Young. So if you want to see some of these begonias, you can see one thing that has happened here is that they are having a really hard time with the beetles. It's really quite sad to see the amount of damage that they're doing, but you know, that's kind of part of what happens. And apparently they're very, very vigorous in this area. Now, I also showed you at Mast Young the Adora begonias, and the ones here are even better than the ones that I saw there. So I love this dark leaf, beautiful flower coverage, and this is just got such a nice habit. Now I'm sure they have about 4 or 5 plants in here, so there's a lot of plants in there to get that fullness, but it is absolutely spectacular. Here's the rose, and this one over here is Adora Moon Dance, and these are just stunning begonias. And here's another one, Nonstop Maca Cherry. I don't know if this one's available yet, because I don't remember seeing it, but it is really, really interesting. And usually when I see the yellow tags, that usually means there's something special about it. There's also a Nonstop Maca Bright Orange, so a little bit lighter than what we've seen in the dark orange. Oh man, now they have a Maca Deep Red Improved as well. Oh my goodness, I guess I looked here, but I didn't look close enough. And there's that Nonstop Picote as well, or Picotee. And I always like the fire. The Coleus seem a little behind schedule, but the downtown series is looking a little bigger than the others. So this is downtown Greenville, downtown New York City Lights, downtown Columbus, really nice speckling on that one. This one, they're calling it downtown La Freak, but I think it's actually taken on the name of downtown Nashville, downtown Vegas Neon. This one does have some really nice pink in it. Downtown Miami Magic. Here's another look at the Stonehenge begonia that I had shown you in the Mast Young visit that I had done. And this is the one that gets really super large. So this is the light pink, and this one here is the rose. And then after that, these are all the big begonias. And if you like the Surefire begonias from Proven Winners, you definitely would like the big begonias as well. So they're really similar and they're really fantastic. Like a crazy amount of them too. This one is the Flower Shower Ringo Star, and we've had really good luck with the Flower Shower series. They're known for their cascading habit, and this one's really incredible because it has that amazing magenta rim with that pure white center. In fact, the center is really beautiful, and it just is already getting a nice mounding habit. The flowers are a little smaller, but it's so covered with them that you just can't help but love them. And this one here is a Flower Shower Blue, and it's kind of interesting because it has more of a denim look to it because the flowers fade as they go, but it's an attractive fade, but some people, definitely look for flowers that don't do that fading. This one got my attention at the Mass Young trials, and this is the Telverna series of Coleus. And I gotta say, they have such an amazing, tidy habit. It's kind of unusual for me to actually see Coleus this well shaped and well formed. I'm kind of curious how it grows and plays with other plants if you were to plant them in a combo, but it's really beautiful. The Super Bells Double Vintage Coral. This one is a really interesting one. It's a beautiful double, and that color is just really, really unusual. And what I also like is that it's a double that seems to have pretty good vigor. It's flowing over the pot really, really nicely. Sometimes the doubles, either they don't trail quite as much or they don't have as many flowers. That does not seem to be the problem with the vintage coral. And here's another look at that Petunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid, and it looks just as good in a container as it did in the ground. One thing I will say is that it seems as though they're having a little bit of trouble with their petunias. They may have had a little watering issue that they're correcting, because I'm noticing that's happening in a couple of them. So I have to be careful that I don't judge them entirely how they look today, because it's possible they had an issue. To have this many plants misbehaving suggests maybe there was a problem. So in this one here is the Petunia Saffron Finch, and this is the new Bermuda Beach over here. This one's just getting a color makeover, and it's more blooms and better coverage than before. We've been carrying the Hot Plus lobelia for the last 2 years, and we really like it. It's nice and vigorous, and it does well in the heat. That's the aqua, the dark blue, and the electric purple. But the one color we didn't carry yet is the Pretty Heaven. And it's kind of very similar in color to the sky blue, but then it has more of that kind of speckled pattern in the eye. So we're considering it. I wonder if, what you think of this one. I'm curious if we're able to get our hands on this Isotoma Bottle Rocket. We carry the Beth's Blue from Proven Winners and really like it. And they used to have Patty's Pink, but they got rid of it. But look, there's Bottle Rocket Pink, which this is just such a nice plant because it's super easy to grow and it behaves so well for us. So if we can get more of it, we would love to have it. So as I'm editing this video, I realize I did not do this garden justice. There is so much more to see, but in my defense, it was over 90 degrees, really humid, and I was there for over 4 hours. So at a certain point, I just had to kind of call it quits. But there are a couple more plants that I want to show you. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to put their names on the screen. They're really fantastic, really beautiful plants. But I didn't do any kind of video while I was looking at them. And then I also I'm going to give you a glance at their cut flower trials, which they expanded this year. And it was incredible. Like they had Lysianthus, they had almost 11 rows. I think each row was almost like it was like 100 feet or so. So tons of cut flowers as well. So it's just an amazing trial garden. Hopefully next year when I get back, I'll be able to give you a little more to see. So hey, I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Thanks for watching. I got another look at the T series of petunias, and these are really beautiful. They're known for their large, durable flowers, and the varieties that are really coming on the market right now that are standing out to me are the ones with the beautiful veining inside. I also like the Petticoat New Guinean Patience. They had really fantastic dark leaves, and there was two that I saw. There was the Red Star and the Violet Star. Beautiful flowers on those as well. I saw a lot of dahlias on this trip, but the one that really stood out to me was the Lubega Dark Bicolor Orange Dahlia. Now this one just had a really great color, good flower coverage, and the dark leaves really made it stand out. The Belissa begonia was doing great in full sun. It can go down to part shade, and the leaves on this one, another one with really nice dark foliage, and the flowers on it. It was unbelievable how much coverage that plant had with flowers. Another petunia with amazing growth and vigor as well as flower coverage was the Shortcake Raspberry and Blueberry. Beautiful flowers on it, just really, really a nice looking type of plant, especially in hanging baskets. There was one combo basket that really stood out from all the other ones, and it had two plants in it that I was completely unfamiliar with. One was a curcuma Shadow, I hope I'm saying that right. I think that was the foliage plant. And then it also had a Pelea Moon Valley, which had really interesting flowers on it. And then that was mixed in with a Ruby Cordyline. And so the color looked really good, and it just looked different than a lot of the other combos that I had seen. And I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to just share that one with you. I don't know where I'd get these particular plants, but hey, I'm happy to show them to you.